Well, it is a warm welcome to this evening's unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Philadelphia as Group E match day 3. The group stages come to an end. Should be a thrilling ending, it has to be said, as Curaçao take on the Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire, whichever you do like to go it as. Big game for both these sides. Of course, looking at Curaçao, history made by them competing in this tournament, becoming the smallest nation in terms of population and landmass to ever participate in this summer's tournament. Of course, they took advantage to get here with the new system, the more teams qualifying, and by the host nations of Canada, Mexico and the USA not being involved in qualifying, whereas the Ivory Coast, of course, dominant as ever in their qualification to arrive to North America. In this group, of course, challenged against Germany. That was a big game, it has to be said, for both of these teams. For Curaçao, they equalised to make it 1-1 then. Unfortunately, the less we talk about that one, the better. A great draw against Ecuador, and a goalless draw, big moment for the nation. And coming into this game on a point with the opportunity to still make the knockout rounds. What history that would be if they were to do that. Whereas Emers Faye, the Ivory Coast boss and co, it was a late goal against Ecuador for Amad Diallo. Lovely finish from the Red Devils winger in stoppage time, or just before stoppage time, I should say, to give them all 3 points in a 1-0 victory. Whereas that Germany game, Frank Kesse's strike was cancelled out by late goals from Dennis Undav, and it undid the good work Ivory Coast had. So massive game for both these sides, qualification on the line. Depending on what happens in the Germany-Ecuador game, I will keep you up to date with that the best I can, of course, kicking off at the same time as we are here. It's 4 p.m. local time from Philadelphia. We've seen pictures of Glenn Nyberg, the Swedish official, and the rest of his crew. Looking to be great conditions in the east of North America. Group E action. When we do look at the two sides, well, Curaçao, they're unchanged from that goalless draw against Ecuador. Quite clearly, Dick Advocate thinking if it's not broke, don't fix it. Whereas Ivory Coast, 4 changes, some enforced, of course, due to a few injuries. Sinogo, Agbadu, Conan and Ualai are out. He was really impressive, the young midfielder. Due, Kosanu, Opera and Pepe into the lineup for Curaçao. Looks to be a 5-4-1, 3-4-3, however you do like to look at the setup. Eloy Room is in goal. Back forward of Urian Gari, Armando Opispo, Cheryl Florinus. Midfield forward of Joshua Brennet, Livano Comencia, skipper Leandro Bacuna and Deveron Fonville. Forward 3 of Tahif Chon, Jürgen Locadia and Janino Bacuna. Whereas Ivory Coast 4-4-2 for them. Yahia Fofana is in goal. Back for Guela Due, Usman Diamande, Odilon Kosanu and Christopher Operi. Midfield forward of the ever-exciting Yan Diamande and Amad Diallo, the wingers holding the width, with Ibrahim Sangare and skipper Frank Kesse, the 2 central midfield options. And a forward duo of Nicolas Pepe and Johan Bonny. Very attack-minded squad. And starting 11 for Ivory Coast, the 2 up top of Pepe and Bonny. That will be a dangerous duo, I'd have thought. And also Diamande and Diallo on the wings. Well, that is pace and then some. Just a few seconds away from kick-off, seeing pictures of Dick Advocate. What a history this 78-year-old now, the Dutch boss, has. Been in charge since January 2024 and of course took that short break due to his daughter's illness, but he's back in charge now. It's his 3rd World Cup after being with the Dutch in the USA in 1994 in this competition. Also South Korea 20 years ago in 2006. We've got to the quarterfinals with the Oranga in 94. Sure, if getting out of the group stages, even that point against Ecuador is quite the history making for this side. They had a great qualifying campaign, it has to be said, although very defensive minded, and they had some great defensive display against Ecuador and then some. They did score 28 goals in qualifying, more than anyone else in their qualifying rounds, and that shows how impressive they can be, and perhaps Advocate will just take the reins off them a little bit this afternoon. Of course, entering their fourth competition this summer on Ivory Coast, first since 2014. After that, I'd call it a bit of a golden generation from 2006, 2010 and 2014, the likes of Didier Drogba, Yaya and Kolo Toure to boot as well. As long as they do avoid defeat this afternoon, you would say that that will seal their place into the knockout rounds. And former player, of course, Emes Faye, 42-year-old Ivorian, is in charge. Boss since January 24, 34 games, 24 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses. A very, very impressive record. And we are underway. Warm welcome wherever you are tuning in. Unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary, English audio commentary of all the action from the Philadelphia Stadium as the Ivory Coast take on Curaçao, or Côte d'Ivoire, as I say, usually whichever you do like to refer to the team as. In the first half, it will be Côte d'Ivoire going from left to right in the usual all orange with a hint of green, and going from left to right from the broadcast view, whereas Curaçao in the all blue, and from right to left. Kosonen already out to the left hand side, picking out of Perry. Diamande. And you would expect the Ivory Coast, they are heavy favourites coming into this game, but so were Ecuador. They didn't manage to even get on the score sheet in that historic clean sheet for Curaçao. Diamande ball over the top, looking for Pepe. He's not going to get there. Good run though from the former Arsenal man. But he will go out for a goal kick for a room to take. As I say, there is a game going on elsewhere, Germany and Ecuador. We'll do my best to keep you up to date on that. There's another game going on in Group E as the groups do wrap up, and well, it looks like there has been an early goal for Germany. Looks like Leroy Sané has given the Germans a 1-0 lead. Here come Curaçao. Tahiti Chong goes for goal. Straight at the goalkeeper. Good save, good strong hands away from Fofana. The 21 of Curaçao was allowed to just fly forward. Was Chong there? Ever impressive. Do you remember when he was at Manchester United and really highly touted was Chong? And you can see exactly why there. He's one of the main players, you'd have to say, of course, as well, for Curaçao. He's just got that fearlessness about him, giving that opportunity himself. Locadia and Bakuna, that forward three, of course, they'll get back and defend almost in a 5-4-1, I can assume, at most times. But when they're on the ball, they will be given the opportunity to go forward. I will say that there's a possibility that the Germany goal might be ruled out. We'll wait for full confirmation of that. Sané, as I say, looks like he's a goal scorer, but whether it stands or not is a different question. If it stands, well, we'll start for Germany in that game. It's here in Philadelphia. Perry. Kosonen, the Atalanta central defender. Out to Diamande. Heavy interest in him, of course. The Reds from Merseyside are very interested in him. Lighting up the German football for the past year. Kesse into Sangare. Always been impressed by the tricky trees midfielder. Ahmad. Tristan turns away, loses possession. Well defended down the left-hand side by Fonville. As soon as they win it, they do lose it instantly. That goal does stand for Leroy Sané, so it's Ecuador 0, Germany 1. Not the start that Ecuador would have wanted. Perfect start for the Germans as they look to make it 3 out of 3 in the group. Already confirmed as top of the tree. Would love to go out in a bit of style, of course, against Ecuador. Pepe halfway into the Curaçao half. Sangare looking to flick it on. Pepe rolls for him. Blocked away. Good tackle by Opispo as well as Florinus. Trying to double up there. That's a nice ball from Bakuna. Trying to play it forward. Out to the right hand side. Lovely first touch from Brunet. Curaçao trying to fly forward and create some space. Good tackle Getting back there from Diamande. Bonnie just flicks it over. Diamande is pacey. Going to get there though in front of Gary. He plays it back into the feet of Pispo. Still with possession, Curaçao. As I say, at the moment, with that point, Curaçao will go third as well. As they look to come forward now, ball out to the left-hand side. Of course, it is the top 8 of third places out of 12 third places that do go through. So I'm not saying they will be in the knockout stages, but they are, for the time being, third in Group E. And who knows, it could spring a surprise here. Goal difference is unfortunately not going to go their way. Following the 7-1 thrashing at the hands of Germany in match day 1. Felt like when they scored, it was almost poking the German bear, wasn't it? Has to be said. Left hand side, Diamande. Curaçao as ever. Very structured defensively. Doué on the right hand side. Ahmad being tracked down. He's having to twist and turn away from his hand. Good tracking down there from Juninho Bacuna. Only goes from right to left, forward into the feet of Bonnie. Is he clipped at his heels there? Yes, he is. It's an impressive duo up top of Bonnie and Pepe. I think that's a duo that could complement each other, I do have to say. Taken quickly out to the left hand side. Diamande's got a run on his man. A few step overs. Trying to go down the byline. Well defended, I have to say, from Burnett there. Oh, he lets it run though. Ball into the box. And Ivory Coast, 6 minutes into the game, get the goal. And Nicolas Pepe, the man in the right place at the right time. One of the 4 substitutes into the 11. And 7 minutes into this game, it is Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. It was a mistake out of the back. I thought Jan Diamande was defended well by Gary and Brunette, but it wasn't defended enough. Lovely play. Ball into the box was on a plate for Pepe. He couldn't miss. There's a few tricks and flicks. I thought they had Diamande done and defended, and then it was just heavy touch. Pass back was a poor pass into Gary just off of his thigh. It was Diamande who continued to drive in. Puts the ball right into the 6-yard box. And Pepe, not as a winger for his time in Arsenal and in the Premier League, but with his time in Spain and France, he's been more of a goal-scoring winger or a striker almost at times. And well, that was him at his absolute very best. And now 31-year-old. And what will be his 30th goal for his national side in his 50th appearance. What a way to mark it. 7.5 minutes in here in Philadelphia. It's Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. Nicolas Pepe with the goal. Here come Curaçao down the right hand side. Tahif Chon needs some support because he's being doubled up over the legs of Opera, but Sangari's there just to mop up as he usually does. And you'd have to say there's an opportunity of, well, how many will it be if Côte d'Ivoire wants? Doué wants a foul there. He's going to get it as well. So maybe a bit of frustration already being shown by Curaçao. A foul by Juninho Bacuna. Just a bit of a push and a bit of a pull watching it back as well on Doué. So now Ivory Coast can be a bit more calm, considered with their approach. They've scored in all 3 group games as well, you'd have to say. No, it's only one in each. One in close to the 90th minute against Ecuador for Ahmad. Kesse's goal, and now that one very early on. But when he scored this early on, there maybe is an expectation now set that Côte d'Ivoire will be able to go on and score a few more. Ball all over the top, looking for the run of Pepe, the goal scorer. It out for a throw in high and wide on the right hand side. Doué quickly into Pepe, gets away from his man, drives further inside. Nice pass into Ahmad, he opens up for goal, just wide. of the mark. Lovely play from Pepe down the right side into Ahmad, former gunner, into the current Red Devil. And they just took that touch, opened up. We know he likes to go for a strike at goal and just didn't wrap it round his left boot as much as he would have desired. And it was that curling effort, but more straight, if you will. If he got the curl, and it would definitely have tested room in goal. Well, there is a bit of a, well, I would say, shock on in the other game here in Group E live at the moment. It is Ecuador 1, Germany 1, an equaliser for Ecuador to keep their hopes alive of possibly going to the knockout rounds, and Ivory Coast doing them a favour at least at the moment. You'd have to say you think they need at least a point against Germany to think they could be one of the better third place sides in the competition. For now, the Ivory Coast comfortably going through. 6 points out of 9 would be their best return in the group stages as well. Of course, as well in their previous 3 times in this tournament, they've never got out of the group, so an opportunity for a bit of history for Côte d'Ivoire, for them to make it out of the groups for the first time. That's a poor pass, latched on forward by Locadia, and now Curaçao come forward into Juninho Bacuna, into the penalty area. He fakes it back, and getting back is Ahmad to support his fullback. Due's a little bit further forward as well. Their mistake at the back there from the Ivory Coast, and it nearly cost them. Pepe getting back, good tackle in the middle from Leandro Bacuna. Into Florinus. Now driving forward is Komen Encia. Right, he's back into Chong. He's going to let it roll. He's going to cut back inside. Now plays it down the byline. Ball into the box. Has to be cleared away. It'll be cleared as way as far as Diamande. Just tries to slow it down. Oh, takes it past Chong. Lovely play. He's going to drive forward. The pacey winger. Is he taken down there? Yes, he is. Lovely play by Diamande. Just to almost as well get it out of the danger area. But perhaps more importantly as well, wins a foul and the free kick for his side. And it just calms it down a little bit. It was really impressive, I have to say, from Diamande. Man in high demand, as I said earlier. He's an impressive young winger. And he's already got an assist, only 19 years of age as well. It's one of them because I know he's been around for a year. 13 goals, 9 assists in his 25-26 league campaign. They're getting a double-double, if you will, double digits in both. Really impressive performance so far. Apart from that mistake just a second ago, I've been very impressed with Ivory Coast as well, I have to say. Pepe dropping deep, he's been the goal scorer, 12.5 minutes in. A warm welcome if you're joining a Group E match day free action from Philadelphia. Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. Nicola Pepe's on his 50th appearance, grabbing a goal to put his side 1-0 up early on in the game, in the 7th minute mark. A mistake at the back. Diamande latched upon it, pulled the ball back into the 6-yard box on a plate for Pepe. There's 1-0 to the African side. This is a great run forward here on the left hand side from Fonville. So has to go back though to Juninho Bacuna, to Leandro's namesake. Komen Encia. Fonville. Be a bit of possession. I would have to say, I think Ivory Coast, they can play possession. They've got so many great technical players in every position that are technical, top tier, elite players. They're also, if they want to have possession and try and push teams back, they've got that. As the strike might come in here outside the area, it's just a whisker wide as well. Pulling the trigger there, Yuri Ngari, the centre back. No one closed him down. I thought maybe the better option was Brunet to his right hand side on the overlap. Don't really blame him there though. And he's just a whisker wide. Fofana never looking troubled, I have to say. Never was scampering to his post. But it's one of them where you sit and go, well, they won't close down, so you can't really blame him for going for a strike. Will be an Ivory Coast goal kicked up. I'm sure that and 1-0 up. Happy. You have to say as well, 25 yards out. If it's a centre back going for goal, you just accept them sometimes. You have to say. Ivory Coast playing out from the back and playing a dangerous game, but Fofana plays it nicely into Cosanu. Kesse. I really like the midfield of him and Sangare. I think that's a midfield that's got absolutely everything, I'd have to say. Perry, the fullback, on the left-hand side. Diamande makes a run in front of him. Ball tries to find Diamande, and it's well defended by Gary. Flicks it off Diamande, who just can't keep his too fast for his own good that one time, the pacey winger, and he just knocked it off of him. And it is a throw-in on the right-hand side. Brunette to take. Wants to go long, looking for Chong. Holds it up decently well, still has it. Does he win another throw-in? Yes, he does. For his side. Once again, off of Diamande, trying to close down, but not going to get right, you have to say. I want a free kick there to Curaçao. That free kick taken quickly, but I found was just a good piece of play, I have to say. Switched out to Ahmad on the right hand side. Pepe 1-2. They're linking up really well down the right hand side. Do it. He's on an overlapping run to Ahmad through the legs of his defender. Into the feet of Ahmad. Tricky skills, do he? Might be offside there, the full back. Flag stays down. Ball into the box. Bonnet with a good chest control. He's well defended by Gary. Sangare will keep it alive. Diamande flicks it out to Operi on the left hand side. 1-2. Bonnet. Heavy touch from Operi. Out for a goal kick for Curaçao. But they are linking up. The strikers are almost going very wide. For example, it was on the right hand side. Bonnet comes a bit more central. Pepe goes to the right to link up with the likes of Ahmad and the full back in Dewey, for example, on that side. On the left hand side, Bonnet goes over with Diamande and Operi, and then Pepe comes a little bit more central. I like how they're working it so far. Ivory Coast, the Côte d'Ivoire in the forward areas. Curaçao playing out from the back. A room looking for a long ball, looking for Locadia this time. Poor clearance from Dewey, slices it all the way back. Operi will get there, and not under any Curaçao pressure either, so plays it short into Cosanu. 17.5 minutes in. Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. With the draw in the other game at the moment in Group E with one apiece, Ecuador and Germany. Does mean that Curaçao will be a bottom of the group come the end of the day. Ball over the top. Diamande is in. Cuts back in on his right boot. Plays it into the area for Ahmad. Slices his shot. Does it go wide? Or is it taking a deflection? Lovely piece of play on the left hand side from Diamande, has to be said. And the packed the box there with Pepe. Just too fast was Diamande. And he cuts back inside. Puts the ball in. Perhaps I'm thinking it off of Fonville. It might have come off last. The pictures and the broadcast go to Kesse. It might have been a foul by the Côte d'Ivoire skipper on in the penalty area. So Curaçao do come away with the ball. Might just been a goal kick. Didn't get full confirmation. Ball into Chong. Well, one in the middle. Well pressed as well by Diamande. Spilling in there and making life awkward. Switches it to the right to Dewey. Pepe. Up to his right back. Sangare's under a lot of pressure, but those long legs getting him out of trouble. Back it goes to Diamande. And Fofana will switch it out to left hand side to Operi. Heavy first touch from the left back, but comes away with it. Shot to Kesse. The Barcelona man looks up for Sangare. Diamande into Dewey. And go all the way from right to left. Cossonu, Diamande keeping the width on that left-hand side. Instead, picks out Diamande on the other side. A few heavy touches there, but Sangare will drive further forward. That's a poor pass to pick out Pepe, well read in the middle. Now Curaçao driving forward. They need blue shirts to come with them though. Trying to win the ball back. That's great backtracking from Pepe. That was poor from Sangare. But Pepe took it upon himself almost to drag back. Drop back as well and press to win the ball. And at the moment, the status quo of this game, possession back for Côte d'Ivoire, and Diamande has it on the left-hand side. Feel anything can happen when he's on the ball. Back to Sangare, just inside the Curaçao half. Just over 20 minutes played in Philadelphia. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. Ivory Coast in search of a second. It is Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 1. Ball to the left-hand side. Juninho Bacuna, lovely touch over his head. Duedo gets there first. And is he fouled? Yes, he is, says the referee. Maybe just a clip of the heels from Juninho Bacuna. He seems a little bit frustrated with the referee's decision, but the referee's decision is going to be final, of course. Dewey takes a free kick quickly, and back it goes to Cossonu. Diamande, he's a player that's always talked about for moves elsewhere, so I'm looking forward to seeing him this evening. Makes his way to another man wanted, as I've already suggested earlier. Diamande. He's got a Perry inside, tries a few step overs, loses the ball, well defended by Brunette. He's taken down there. Referee's going to give advantage. He did for a second, but Curaçao nearly lost the ball there. We've got Perry trying to get back up to win it, brings his man down. It will be a free kick. Well defended, well doubled up there with Chong with Brunette. Curaçao have the free kick. Poor pass though, picked up by Ahmad. And now goes back to Kesse again. I think at 1-0. Côte d'Ivoire, they're really happy just to control the game now. That's exactly what they're doing. Ahmad back to Doué on the right hand side, very wide. Cossonu back to the goalkeeper Fofana. So far, when we look at the stats in this game from Philadelphia, of course, the goal came in the 7th minute mark. Possession just a shade over 70%. Côte d'Ivoire, 2 shots for Curaçao, 1 on target. Similar kind of story for the Ivory Coast, 1 on target, but 3 shots this time, ball over the top. It will be held lovely by Ahmad, cuts further inside, continues to go, goes for a strike at goal. It's blocked away, might be off the head of Gary, who has stayed down. The Ivory Coast are going to bring the game to a pause. It's felt like did Ahmad just cut inside one too many times. Once again, another lovely ball over the top. Is close control. That was brilliant there. Cuts inside again, if anything. It's a lovely first touch, watching it back. Felt good he'd taken it down the byline. Put a ball into the box. Someone like Bonnie, he's crying out for service. He's that kind of striker. So possibly, yeah, big chance missed there. But there is be a hydration break now coming up. Everyone is a big fan of these, as I say. 23 minutes on the clock. It is unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Philadelphia. Group E, match day 3, the final game of the groups. Elsewhere, it is Ecuador 1, Germany 1, as far as I can see on the updates elsewhere. So it looks like that'll be, of course, kicked off at the same time as us. That'll be going into Curaçao being bad. The goal was a mistake at the back, you have to say, looking back on the first just over 22 minutes. Some top play from Diamande, Pepe there to find the back of the net. Really impressed with all of Ivory Coast's players, and they've really stepped up to the task this evening. But it is a warm welcome if you are joining. You're not missing anything. It is a hydration break here at the Philadelphia Stadium, Group E. Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 1. Nicola Pepe's goal in the 7th minute mark, marking his 50th appearance for his side. Marks it in the best of ways. 1-0. Looking at the stats so far, as I spoke about, a lot of possession for Côte d'Ivoire, as you would expect. Favourites coming into this game. Ecuador were favourites, doesn't mean they did too much. 4 shots for Ivory Coast, 2 for Curaçao, 1 on target apiece, so that's a difference maker. But of course, that one shot on target from Ivory Coast was inside the 6-yard box. Nice ball in from Diamande. The shot on goal for Curaçao was Dave Chong's 25 yards out. Just outside the penalty area, straight at the goalkeeper. It was a great strike, but very centrally into the net. Easily defended in the end. The goalkeeper for Fana. Those Ivory Coast haven't made the chances pay. He's what I'd say, seeing the great atmosphere that the fans are making, as per usual, at this tournament. It's been absolutely fantastic watching all the games, seeing all the cultures come together. Both these teams, it feels like the Côte d'Ivoire 20 years ago in 2006, or that similar place at Curaçao. It's the first time in this tournament. We're happy to be here. We want to go through, of course. That is our aim, that is our main goal. But to be here in the summer is a remarkable achievement. Feels kind of similar to a degree, see, where Curaçao in 20 years, of course. At the moment, it is, for me, just defensive so far. Back underway though. It will be Ivory Coast who are on the ball and on possession at the moment. Again, it's trying to slow it down, hit them on the counter, or maybe lull them into a sleep. I'm not too sure. Quickly switched out to Diamande. We know he's always wanting every single time to make something happen. Back to Perry, 1-2. Kessie back into the box. Oh no, it's well defended in the end by Garrett. I thought he was going to let it go out for a corner. Curaçao, Sean. Because, I mean, 1-0, you're happy with that, you've got the win, but I feel just like most, he will want Kosunu. It's a very slow at the moment tempo for the leaders. Still one apiece in the other game in Group E between Ecuador and Germany. Nothing of a surprise note to bring you. Well, surprise note at the scoreline, but not since they scored. Diamande down the left-hand side does so well. It's past a few players as well. Does he win a corner for his side? The number 11, yes he does, Jan Diamande. What a tournament he's having. I said it earlier. He's a lot of shooters, of course. In this summer that, sure, if you are his parent club, you're loving that he's having a great time in the tournament, because that probably adds up a little bit more in terms of the transfer fee. Ball into the box, deflected away out for a throw-in. High on the left-hand side. Diamande once again coming over, wants to take. Played short to into Sangare. Thought he would have been more in the box with his aerial presence, but not to be. Ahmad dispossessed in the middle from Leandro Bacuna. Fonville being pressed down, well pressed as well. Pepe comes away with it. It was Ahmad who won it originally. Oh, pokes it into the box for Bonnie. Bonnie had already made the run centrally. Maybe thought, was Bonnie going to keep his road in? Down side, Bacuna. Ball into the box to take a deflection. Yes, it does. and that will be the first corner of the game as well, going for Curaçao. On the stroke of the half-hour mark, Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. Warm welcome if you are joining Unofficial Independent off Tube studio commentary of all the action from Philadelphia. On a moment, Curaçao, that draw against Ecuador, could they go one better this evening? Could they even come away with a win? But the corner's going to get swung in there. The referee just brings it to a pause for a moment as a few words. Bit of a waste of time there as a corner. It will be an in-swinger. Opportunity to... That's a poor piece of play. Oh, it's a poor header away though. Will be kept in play by Chong. Just a poor defensive play, poor attacking play, then an even worse defensive display there. Left hand side. Kuna has it. Waiting for the throw-in to be taken, and looks like might go for the long variety. Coming over here looks to be Florinus. See what throw-in he's got about him. Is it more on the longer side, more on the shorter side? It's a good long throw-in right into the 6-yard box, defended well. Straight up into the air, goalkeeper comes to claim, takes a tumble as well for his strolls and outfoot. Fafana is still down, so it was brave to come out. Well read from the goalkeeper, but the head's just right up in the air. Comes to claim. He does catch the Curaçao man. It's more as well is because he's running on to Comenencia. He just looks a little bit different. Looks as if he's the one making the contact. If anything, there is a bit of a, not a high right leg, sort of, as in a foul, as when you're jumping to go off of one foot, you kind of extend with the other, don't you, jumping up. Catches him, but the connection is already made, so free kick for Côte d'Ivoire inside their own penalty area. Booted long, looking for Bonnet. Headed away at the back. Doué picks it up on the right hand side. Pepe to Ahmad. They're really switching well most of the time. Got a really good connection, you'd have to say. Doué throwing right on the halfway line. Long ball forward, looking for Bonnet, getting in underneath. It will be cleared away. With a throw in on the right hand side. Throw in taken quickly by Doué. Under real pressure, he's forced all the way back, nearly into his own half. Well, the pass will go into his own half. Cotonou under some real pressure here. Goes back to his goalkeeper, so throw in what? Inside the penalty area nearly. We're back to the goalkeeper again. We do lead though, so it's maybe about more not making mistakes. If we get a second, that's great. Maybe especially going into half time. Ahmad brought down. Time by the skipper Leandro Bacuna. It's inside the Ivory Coast half. And I think they're a team that are well adapted, especially with this 4-4-2 sit back and low block, mid block. They can press really high with the two forwards. They've got Ahmad on the right and Diamandi on the left, with the work rate that they bring. Looking a very, very good squad. Sangare at the moment just sitting in between the two centre backs. Rolling a back three out to Doué on the right. Back to Cotonou. Ahmad takes it down the line, takes it past his man, he's still going. Right hand side is going to cut inside. Plays it forward looking for Bonnie. It's well run intercepted. Cleared only as far as Sangare. Out to Operi. On the left hand side. Back into Sangare. Now is when it slows down. Oh, one well in the middle. And Chong, is he brought down there? I want to say it's Pepe that was involved. He just catches him. Good play by Chong. He just puts his right foot and the right side of his body in front of the ball, and Pepe going to reach for the ball. Chong's just there too fast. He just catches him right on the top of his right boot, on his right foot. So that will be a sore one. No doubt about that one. Don't know if Pepe has been given a yellow card. The broadcasts are showing him. He's pointing to his left boot. I don't think he's injured. I don't know if he's asking for another boot. I don't know if something's happened with his boot. Still on the field of play. Ball back. Pass to the goalkeeper. Room heads it away. Ahmad's going to latch on to the end of it though. High on the right hand side. Mistake by Curaçao into Pepe. Look for the 1-2. He thought Ahmad was coming centrally. Ahmad made the run on the right hand side. Further wide. Curaçao do win it, but they're in their own corner flag territory. Cleared away. Dewey will nod it back to Pepe. Sangare goes back to Diamande. Got two Diamandes. One Usman plays his football in Portugal. Jan Diamande, of course, he heavily coveted a winger. Nicolas Pepe officially has been given a yellow card. He's getting full confirmation of that from the broadcasters. That's the first yellow card of the game. In the way of the goal scorer. Out to Ahmad on the right hand side. Oh, he does well to cut inside. He still has the ball. Is he clipped there on his heels? Yes, he is. Referee Glenn Nyberg, the Swedish official, comes over before anything starts to get troublesome. Ahmad's having a few words, I think, with his own teammates, actually, more than he wasn't happy with the pass, wasn't happy with the support he was given more than anything. Can't lie, I don't know why. There was overlapping runs to his right hand side, and Pepe was further forward as well. They were providing options for him. He didn't choose him. He span nicely away, I have to say that, but this is a big opportunity now from that free kick. Just a quick update, still one apiece. And the other Group A game, ball into the box, headed right back up into the sky, but then with a second header, well won by Pispo. Well, it's knocked it back to room, but it's that awkward header. He was almost on his knees heading it back. Was a well-read piece of play there. Curaçao now have the ball being pressed down. Well won there by Bonnie. Maybe just being too nonchalant on the ball there, Curaçao. Diamande, ball into the box, just for everyone. Kesse will keep it alive. No, Pepe will keep it alive on the right-hand side. Back into his skipper, Kesse. Edge of the area for Ahmad. Back to Pepe. Now to Ahmad. Again, we know he loves a shot. I'm waiting for him to cut inside and unleash an effort, but Pepe keeps a hold of it on the right-hand side. Nice pass into Sangare. Pokes it forward for Ahmad. Pepe, this is nice play. But too many blue jerseys and it's intercepted. Chong comes away with it. Brunet back to Chong. They've got a long way to go upfield, but Côte d'Ivoire have thrown bodies forward. Nice pass, picked up by Comenencia. Drives it into the Ivory Coast half. Swung out to the left, Fonville. Back inside, and Curaçao now have possession. And as I said, they can have possession, can the Ivory Coast, or they can hit you on the counter. They're so dangerous. Ball one in the middle there. Kesse can't reach it, so he loses out, but then he wins it back expertly. The skipper, goal scorer, of course, against Germany, as we all know. The advocate, what a moment it is for him to be at his third tournament. Just to get them close to being out of the group stage into the knockouts. That'll be the biggest history in this tournament. Chong. Nice pass to Brunet on the right hand side. Again, it's just when they do come forward, Curaçao, there's just not enough bodies really coming forward with them. Nice ball rolling to the feet of Rockadia. Back to Chong outside the area. Strike comes in, but the strike goes wide of the mark. That's on his first strike from range. You don't really mind it, but I think there comes a point where that's all right for the moment. If he continues doing that and going for goal in those situations, it will become very, very frustrating. It's well defended, watching back and forth from Diamande to put him under pressure. And you don't mind out of all the players going for strikes on goal if it's your attacking midfield or one of your main men. Could be a lot worse. Alisson goes long. Pepe just nods it up in the air. Could have brought it down, touch and turned away. Throwing coming up. Held up, but 40 minutes on the clock. Some 5 of the 45 to go. Of course, we'll get stoppage time. We had the goal, of course, very early on, the hydration break. And a few injuries here and there. So I could see there be maybe 4 minutes, pushing 5 of stoppage time. So we've got a long way. Let's basically say 4 minutes on the clock. We might have close to 10 minutes left of the first half still to play. Kosunu to Sangare. Pressure from Curaçao, but Ivory Coast deal with it. Oh, the dot there. Chong pressing well. That's won superbly by Diamande. Usman Diamande, I should say. Sangare into the left hand side for Operi. Ivory Coast almost looking from a point of view of we've had a really good first half, let's not make any mistakes. Kessie looking to unleash it there to Diamande. It's kept alive though. Back to Kessie. He's got an overlapping run from the front post. Is that cleared away and out for a first corner for Ivory Coast, do you believe? Yes, it is. I know Curaçao have already had a corner. So I do believe that this is the first corner for Ivory Coast. Would be a great opportunity to grab a second going into half time. It will be from the far side. It will be an in-swing. Diamande to take. Ball into the box, nodded away at first spot. Chong driving forward. It's a foot race between himself and Pepe. Pepe gets second best. He didn't really lose the race, if you will. But Chong comes away with the ball. Bonnie looking to press down there. Great tackle. He'll only knock it out for a throw-in. Or unless as he won a free kick. I believe the referee has given the free kick. Andrew Bakuna asking for an elbow there. His body, watching the replay back, it's an arm over the chest and the chin when near a card add up. Coming in, see it. Gary. And Ivory Coast bundle up. They seem quite happy to just sit a little bit more. That's a foul on Chong. Kessie isn't happy. He said no. Referee saying yes. A smile on the face from the former Barcelona AC Milan man. Doesn't win the ball. Left hand side, Fonneville looking for options. Bakuna strike, just is wide. That was a close one, that hitting the side net as well. Great play from Leandro Bakuna. Just one touch, almost open up the defence. He gets over his strike. He was watching a replay of the throw-in, cut back to Bakuna's, nearly putting it through the legs of Usman Diamande and going for the strike at goal. So that even took the broadcasters by a bit of surprise. From that goal kick, well, it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Fofana. Diamande drives and brings the ball out of defence. 4 shots apiece, 1 shot on target apiece. Nothing really to separate the two sides. It'll be a different story, of course, in the second half. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Ahmad. Well defended again. They're pressing a bit higher up, Curaçao, and they're being caught back. Oh, great quick feet there from the winger. It'll be given, it won't. I believe it'll be a throw-in for Ivory Coast, number 7. Juninho Bacuna, he's had a good game. And Garrett for, as we're just going to wait for the border to go up. Do it. Ball forward. How much added time will be on? 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've hit 45 minutes. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. Curaçao against Ivory Coast. The match day 3, the final match day of the group stages. Nicola Pepe, 7th-minute strike, the difference maker here. And 4 minutes left to go. Could they grab a second? They're coming forward on the right with Dewey. It'll be a throw-in. Thought that might have been a long for an opportunity. Just kind of go to the edge of the area to Pepe. Frank Kessie, of course, first half hero at least in the game against Germany. Scoring that vital goal, has to be said. So Room is very much taking his time and his patience whilst taking this ball played forward by Room, looking for Locadia. Nodded down. Juninho Bacuna. That's going to be a foul against Sangare there. Just racking up a little bit for those fielders for Ivory Coast. Bacuna just put it for the legs of him as well. Sangare looking disappointed with himself and his teammates. 30 seconds left if I'm a Curaçao player, and though they are going to take it long, actually I thought they were going to take it short opportunity. Leandro Bacuna, the man to get over it, floated into the back post. Free kick comes to nothing. Long ball over the toe off Ivory Coast. We're in there. Then a 3v2. Right hand side, Brunette. Chong on the right. Looking for options. Swings the ball into the box. It's brought down, poked away by Kessie. He wants a corner. I thought he did. Well, I thought he did knock it off of Juninho Bacuna. The referee does point to the corner flag. Kessie not happy, just trying to keep the spirit alive with the teams. Fofana looking for a second clean sheet in 3 games. Left arm up in the air from Juninho Bacuna into the front post. It's a poor one, headed right back up in the air. Does it go for another corner? I believe it does. Bonnie, the very tall number 9 in the penalty area. You don't usually see that with attacking corners these days. Into the area. Poor ball clearance, easily dealt with by Nani. Elsewhere, coming into the last few moments, both teams were given 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've got about 30 seconds left here. Ecuador and Germany, looks like they're going into half-time 1 apiece. Sane scored 2 minutes in, and Angolo scored later on, just about the 10th-minute mark here. Curaçao there looking for equaliser themselves. They've got defending to do here. Bonnie and Diamande making a nuisance of themselves there, but nothing comes of it. Back to the goalkeeper, and just seconds left now of the first half. Looks like that early strike from Pepe will be enough to see Côte d'Ivoire into the half-time break. Well, that's the referee as the ball's knocked out there. See, to me, look at Nicolas Pepe, who's like holding his nose. He's definitely holding his face. Just watching it back. He does get it, unfortunate whack in the side of the face. It's nothing malicious. Kesse is now walking off a little bit. Like he's injured. Of course, Pepe didn't get any medical treatment. So ready for confirmation that we played 9 minutes of stoppage time, and that will be a half time. An impressive opening to the game for Côte d'Ivoire into an empty net. Right place, right time for Pepe. Lovely play by Diamande. Cut across into the former gunner. Half time. Curaçao with it all to do. It is Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 1. Well, it is a warm welcome back to unofficial, independent, off-tube studio commentary of all the action from Group A on the final day, the final match day of Group A. Curaçao versus the Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire, whichever you do prefer to have them go by. It's currently Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 1. Nicolas Pepe goal in the 7th minute, the difference maker. A good half of football, it has to be said. It's an interesting second half ahead of us, especially considering it's Ecuador 1, Germany 1 in the other game in Group E. At the moment, I'll do my best to keep you up to date with all the action there as well. It was a great goal scored by Pepe. Mistake at the back, you have to say, possibly by Curaçao, but I want to say it was good play from Yan Diamande down the left-hand side. Picked out Pepe fantastically in the 6-yard box. Pulled it back. Great finish from the former gunner. And it was a lovely, just tucked home finish. Curaçao gave as good as it got in that first half. I thought they were absolutely fantastic, but then again on the score sheet, they didn't really have maybe the best chance, falling for Leandro Bacuna, their skipper. Just dragged he did well to get in the area, but just dragged his strike wide into the outside netting, never on target, if you will. The only shots on target they had were outside the area. Tahith Chong, the former Manchester United forward, testing the keeper from range, and I say testing the keeper straight at him, when you would expect Fofana to deal with, as driving forward here. Great piece of play. Our Ivory Coast, Pepe trying to get on the end of it. There has been a change at half time. Curaçao exactly how they started and ended the first, but Ivory Coast, off it goes Amad Diallo. I thought he was having a great game on that right hand side, linking up with Pepe, who's in a top with Bonnet. They were linking up extremely well, if I have to be honest, but the man coming on for him looks like it might be more of a 4-3-3 for Côte d'Ivoire. Midfield Christ Anu Olawai comes on. He really impressed, of course, in the game against Germany, so it looks to be a more of a 4-3-3 and a very similar kind of setup to how they played against Germany. As I say, so changed as Curaçao do have the ball at the back with Obispo into Florinus. Sure would love to get a goal. We'll see, just an update. I thought there was a penalty given for Germany. Looks like VAR has wiped that one out. So they thought, the Germans, that they had a chance to take an early lead. Excuse me. Instead, nothing coming of that. So as the Ivory Coast, good interception there from Sangare. He wins a free kick as well after Chong going in for the ball. Just catches the Tricky Trees midfielder. And a free kick given for the Ivory Coast. So it is room in goal for Curaçao. As I say, they're unchanged from the first half. Back three of Gari, Obispo and Florinus. Brunette on the right and Fonville on the left as wing-backs. Skipper Leandro Bacuna is partnered by Comenicia, with Chong, Lassadia and Juninho Bacuna as a forward three in a 3-4-3 setup. Whereas it's Fofana in goal for Côte d'Ivoire. Back four of Doué, Ousmane Diamande, Cossanu and Opere. Midfield three now Sangare, the sitter, with Skipper Kessie and Oalai as a midfield three. Diamande off the left, yellow carded, and the goal scorer Nicolas Pepe off the right, and Bonnet, the sole forward, in a forward free. Ball into the box, and that's going to be a foul there by Lockadier. Once again on Sangare, so in the walls at the moment is the Tricky Trees midfielder. And of course picking up to the right hand side to do it. Was back door to Cossanu. Left hand side, Perry. Can you feel, baby? That's a poor, I'll say that, poor pass from Perry, looking to link up with Diamande. He'd already made the run. Perry made it as if Diamande had come short instead. Poor throw in there, nearly pressed down by Bonnet. Curaçao are looking confident. I'm sure that performance against Ecuador definitely has given them a lot of confidence. Scored against Germany. I'm sure that at half time maybe Dick Advocates going, look, you scored against Germany, let's go out there and score against the Ivory Coast. Poor play at the back. Diamande pressing high. Opera is going to win the ball. It's taken down. Referee this afternoon, Glenn Nyberg, the Swedish official, says let's play advantage. And here come Ivory Coast down the right-hand side. Do it. Need some support, but cuts inside then. Down the byline. Fizzes the ball into the box at the back post. Diamande is there. Heavy touch. It will go out of play. Oh, it was on the blind side of Burnett there. They got in behind. And the man who grabbed the assist for Pepe's goal. So unfortunately, just as he took the touch, it was just off the top of his boot. Couldn't get on to the end of it. How will I there? Trying to get to the ball and win it. He does, but only heads it and nods it out for another throw-in. As I was saying before, the pass out for the throw-in by Ivory Coast. You'd have to see that midfield free. It just adds a bit more solidity. Look as well, of course, very similar to, of course, scoring the goal. I know you lose winger in Ahmad off the right, but Diamande will be given a bit more freedom, you'd assume. Pepe will cut inside. Of course, Kessie will get further forward as well. You don't really, it's not like they're losing too much in terms of goal scoring threat. Maybe just getting a bit more control in the midfield, though, it has to be said. Perry on the left hand side, inside the Curaçao half. Diamande and Cosano a few 1-2s. Awalai, Usman, Diamande, Kessie. It is calm from Ivory Coast. I was so impressed by them against Germany. I thought Germany, of course, played very well in that second half, much better than the first, but I thought Ivory Coast were excellent in that game in Canada. Well, Germany maybe just had that little bit more quality, of course, about them. They're already qualified, they're already through, of course, if Ivory Coast win this very good group stages for them. Diamande driving forward, cuts it back to the edge of the area. Kessie cuts inside. Will he go for a strike at goal? He unleashes one. Takes a deflection, goes out for a corner. He took ever so long there. Did the skipper to pull the trigger? I don't know if he was looking for a teammate. I don't know. I thought he could have taken a touch. It was great play from Yan Diamande. Thought he cut inside his left boot. He did take a heavy touch. We'll see. It's a lot closer to go in. It is a whisker wide. The goalkeeper, Eloy Rumi, he's absolutely stranded. There's nothing he can do after that. He could have gone in the back of his own net. After the outstretch, I want to say, off of Gary. Goes force a corner in the second half. Ivory Coast going from right to left. So it will be from the far side. It's a decent corner in. At the back sticks, Kessie's there, but all he can do is win a throw-in on the left-hand side of good defending from Burnett. Kessie wins a throw-in and goes back to Cosano. I was saying they'll win this second half right to left for Ivory Coast in all orange, whereas Curaçao left to right in the all blue. Yan Diamande once again cutting inside. Comes away with the ball. Goes back to Cosano though. Curaçao looks to press a little bit higher here, and Perry under a lot of pressure. He just has to knock it off of Chong and goes out for a throw-in for the full-back. One of the four changes coming into the game. Côte d'Ivoire throws it into Bonnie. Lovely hold-up play. He tries to roll his man almost. Can't get the best of it. And Curaçao come away with the ball. Gary Floridus. 53.5 minutes on the clock. Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 1. Warm welcome if you are joining. His unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of the final match day in Group E. Currently thanks to Nicola Pepe's 7th minute strike. Côte d'Ivoire looking at their first ever knockout stages in this tournament. Chong played down the right hand side, well defended by Diamande. Into Leandro Bacuna. Sangari battling away. Strike comes in. It's just over the bar. Strike there from the defender, Floridus. You'd have thought it was a strike. That was just fine. Unfortunately, he's just watching it back. He's just leaning back, stretching ever so slightly. So Sliced wide. Fofana is stretching for it, and that is inches over the bar there as well. Ivory Coast getting away with one there from the goal kick. Fofana goes long. Pepe can't hold it up. In the middle, Kessie wins it. He looks to punt it along, looking for Bonnie. Well defended by Gary, and it's a nice pass forward as well. Bakuna intercepted by Sangare. Fizzes the ball forward. Nicely intercepted by Comencia. Chong. Quick, tricky feet from the former Red Devil. Curaçao whipped out to the right side. Lovely pass. Brunette has space. Can he find a ball into the box? Cuts back inside. Maybe it was I think that was a bit of half of a pass or a touch. I think it was a poor pass and a poor touch, unfortunately, from the wing back. Diamande picks it up, takes it past his man. He's tackled fairly, but we'll continue with the ball. Well, he's side with a throw-in. Well, Perry. Being hounded down here by Chong. He does well. He's so, like many a fullback, so one-footed that he wants to get it on his left. Does well to clear it away. I can't fault him. And it falls for Bonnie. Here come Ivory Coast. Diamande. Backheeled. It's a lovely piece of play. But it's backheeled out of play, unfortunately. Bonnie, that was great hold-up play. Now he's on his own. He's got a lot more responsibility. He was up top with Pepe. You felt that there was always more of a runner in beyond him sometimes. He was less on his own to a degree. Now he is very much up on his own, and he's got a lot to do in this second half. Gary looking for a ball, poor ball forward. Sangari intercepts nicely. Bonnie drops it off. That'll be a foul. That'll be a late one, and maybe that's a frustration of Gary giving away the ball, trying to press Olau. And it is a free kick given. Kessie takes it quickly, plays it down the line for Diamande. He's going to struggle to get that. A lovely fake out there from Brunette to come away with the ball. And Curaçao, well, might be a bit of space now as the Ivory Coast did come forward, did commit some bodies forward as well. Sangare, great timing in the tackle there as he wins it and plays it short for Pepe. Kessie is quickly out to Due on the right hand side. Only Bonnie in the penalty area. Kessie continues his run. Due's going to find him with a pass. Pokes it back to Due. Fizzes one into the box. It's a decent ball in. Cleared well away by Obispo. Only out for a throw in for Ivory Coast. Jose Sangare, he's having a belter of a game in the middle. More partnered by Kessie in the first half. This half he is that lone defensive midfielder and he's cutting out absolutely everything so far. Diamande into our light. Kosunu. I think they'd love to just go get a second Ivory Coast, be more comfortable with that. And Diamande being hounded, gets away from his man, plays a lovely ball to a pair at 1-2. Back to the Leipzig man, going to cut inside, still going, back to the edge of the area. What a block that is from Gary. Had to get that one right. Curaçao on the counter now. Chong on the right side gets the ball caught up in his feet. Being pressed down. Curaçao will go back and will keep a hold of the ball, but just for a second there you felt there's an opportunity for Curaçao on the counter. Nothing coming of it though. They do keep hold of the ball. It's still one apiece in the other group game in Group A. Ecuador won, Germany won. Germany already qualified at the top of the group. And if they were to lose to Ecuador because they beat the Ivory Coast, they would finish at top of the pile. Ball forward, headed away by Kosunu. Kessie into Pepe, up a fake and turn. Goes back inside again a few times and brings it back to Kosunu. As I say, a bit of history for Côte d'Ivoire at the moment. Their first ever advancement to the knockout stages of this competition if they are to get there. Fourth time in the tournament, and every other tournament they have been knocked out in the groups. First time they've been here since 2014 as well, so to say they're coming back with a bang would be an understatement. They've got the ball now. Looks like Curaçao are readying a substitute, maybe even a double one. They get to go to the bench, and I think Advocate and Co. Lovely play by Dewey to take it past his man on the right hand side. He's been defended well though, still has the ball, doing some support. Takes it down the byline once again, ball into the box. Pepe gets there first, pokes it back to Dewey. Might have been offside, but he does keep the ball alive. Lands on the flag, it does stay down. Sangare into Kessie. Lovely play by Sangare, just as I say, sitting in front of that back four and so calm and cool under pressure. His long legs just always gliding around the pitch, it seems, the former Eindhoven man. Is that a foul by Chong, or is it out of play for a throw-in? Chong wants a throw. Chong's going to get the throw-in as well. I have to say that now isn't happy, but that is a decision. Off comes Livano Comenencia for Curaçao. That will be the change. It's an attacking one, it seems. That's coming on in place of him is Antonissi. Only the one change. I thought it was a double for a moment, so only the one change for Curaçao. Could be a formation change, who knows? Could just be fresh legs and a more forward-thinking player on. They're on the ball just outside their own area. And I will say, it is still a back three, but the wing-backs in Brunette and Fonneville are really getting high and wide in this second half. Just over an hour played. 61.5 minutes on the clock. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary of match day 3 in Group E. Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 1. Ball over the top, looking for the run of Antonissi. Fofana though reads it well, comes out, sweeps up and grabs the ball. Côte d'Ivoire are back in possession. Dewey down the line for Pepe, back into Sangare, first time pass to Dewey. Kessie, lovely turn and touch, tries to play it over the top looking for Bonnie. He's fighting to get there. It will be well defended though. Obispo will get there first, but okay, I know that didn't work quite for Côte d'Ivoire, but my word, they're playing some good stuff. That one-touch football with the really clicking. It is some quality stuff to watch. Curaçao just maybe in the final third haven't got going like that. That's been their biggest issue so far. Pera picks it out of the air. Diamanda, you feel that whenever he gets on the ball, it's just so electric. You feel something's going to happen. Sangare, Kessie swings it wide to the right to Dewey. Got Pepe in front of him. Uses the Villarreal man. Kessie. Triangle now on the right hand side of the right back Dewey. The central midfielder Kessie and Pepe. Ball in behind. Pepe is on a chance in the box and he makes it 2-0. Second goal for Pepe, second goal for Côte d'Ivoire. Clinical move, what a ball into him. Clinical finish. The first one was a poacher's instinct of right place, right time. That would open up his body, curled it into the bottom corner. What a finish from Nicola Pepe. And on his 50th appearance, he gets a brace, he's on for a hat-trick. The atmosphere in Philadelphia, well, it's been a dancing atmosphere, a party almost for Côte d'Ivoire for most of the evening. Now you feel it can be, that's comfortable at 2-0. Lovely run the blind side, Pepe, he's well onside. Sangare finds him, picks him out of a peach of a pass. Lovely first touch from Pepe, means he can open up his body, curl it round the keeper. Find the corner, he finds the side netting. It's a perfect strike. And just after 64 minutes, into the 65th minute now, Côte d'Ivoire's 19 grabs his second. Makes it 2-0 to his side. The fans see them. They jump for joy. Curaçao unfortunately look like it will be a defeat. They haven't been able to get going in this second half. They were much better in the first, I have to say. They have struggled a bit in this second half. Looking at the stats in the second half alone, one shot, I want to say as well, that was from Florinos. I know it was just wide, but it's actually only chance 20 minutes into the second half. That's a little underwhelming as John wants to come forward. Being hounded down. I think Ivory Coast going to that midfield free has been means they've been able to control the game a little bit more. Kessie is going to look over, looking for Pepe. He's got the pace and tried to get the Jets on, but that's overhit from his skipper. And when we look at the stats as a whole, 65% possession for Côte d'Ivoire. 6 shots apiece, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Maybe clinicality, I don't know, but I thought they were 2 superb finishes from Pepe. He's on his second, as I say. I thought that was I thought it was a great finish personally. The ball from Sangare, you've got to give credit to him. Beautiful pass from him. It was on the money for Pepe. It was on the money so much as I say, you can take the touch, set yourself, get the ball out of your feet with your first touch, make it 2-0 to your side, and Côte d'Ivoire 1-0 in the first game. Unfortunate 2-1 loss to Germany. Now looks like they're going to have a comfortable 2-0 at the moment. Substitution is coming up. Who will it be for Côte d'Ivoire? Yes, it is. Looks like it might be a triple change for them. Looks like Bonnie is going off. Also, looks like Pepe as well, so I'll be able to go and push for the hat-trick. I'm sure he's happy though. Maybe he has to think as well, oh, I'm on a yellow card. We're looking forward to the knockouts now. We're putting the groups behind us. And Yan Diamande as well. So maybe Emers Faye is looking and saying, right, I want to make sure all my players are wrapped up in cotton wool almost. To make sure nothing happens to them. You have to say, at least from an attacking point of view. I know Ahmad went off at half time as well. But now you've got the players who are on the pitch off as well. So Diamande, Yan Diamande, Bonnie and Nicola Pepe come off. Owahe Diakite as well as Bazumana Torre come on to the field of play. That's all the substitutions. Still got one left as well to Côte d'Ivoire. But maybe they're also looking at, could we keep a clean sheet as well? That'll be a massive bonus for them. You have to say 2 free games. 6 points out of 9, and only loss was to Germany, and that was after you held the lead for so long. In the second game, and the other 2 games, it was the late goal from Ahmad in stoppage time, basically. As if you are joining us, so it was just a quick pause in play. Nothing too much you've missed as we are just going into this hydration break, halfway through the second half. Group E action, match day 3, the final group stage games of this competition coming up in the next few days. Of course, the likes of Pepe going off. See Ivory Coast fans there dancing, smiles on their face. Sun's coming out in Philadelphia as well, so I can imagine they'll be dancing into the Philadelphia night, and I don't blame them one bit. Looking forward to knockout football for the first time ever in their history. Curaçao have done their nation proud. They've become the smallest nation in terms of population and landmass ever to participate in this tournament, so you've got to say that think that's a bit of history upon itself. Just getting here, they were ever impressive in qualifying. 28 goals as well. I know they've been trying to be more defensive solid in this tournament, but 28 goals, they're absolutely flying. And not an easy group. Ecuador have underwhelmed, although drawing 1-1 against Germany, showing how strong of a team and a side they are. Well, they were underwhelming against Curaçao. The Côte d'Ivoire Ecuador game was, to say it was only 1-0 and for a 0-0 for so long, that was an excellent game. Football, Côte d'Ivoire will be second. Germany already confirmed as top of Group E. Will be Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire. Knockout football for the first time. That'll be something, a bit of history made there. And as I said, the likes of Mande, Bonny and Pepe. Important forward line. All there. Their minds are already there. But just about to get underway. It's Curaçao 0, Ivory Coast 2. 2 goals from Nicolas Pepe early on in the first half, and just after the hour mark in the second half, meaning that at the moment is rather comfortable for the African side. We'll be throwing here on the left hand side for Curaçao. They've only made one change in the game. I thought, just coming out of the side race, Rick, I thought they might have made a couple of changes, if I'm honest. Instead they will go with what they've got. Maybe they could take that clean sheet away from Côte d'Ivoire. Who knows? I feel like they're going to be the side who, in this fourth quarter, in the second half of the second half, you feel like they're going to push a little bit more out there. They're going to look to put Côte d'Ivoire under a bit of pressure. They have it at the back. Torre, though, one of the substitutes, along with Wahi and Diakite. They're the ones pressing and hounding down. Well, Bispo has to go back to his keeper, and as soon as he did, he puts his arm in the air because that was a bad back pass. Well, the room has it. Has room as well, but walking pace at the moment. Back to Room, who looks to go long to his forward. Chong brings it down, but Sankara is there to come over with the ball. He mixes up himself there with Kesse. Now here comes Curaçao into the penalty area. Ball into the box. He's blocked away by Perry. It's a good block, and he plays a nice pass to the left-hand side to Diakite. Referee brings it back. Is there an offside in the build-up possibly here? Yes, there is. Points to the linesman. So getting away with one there. It's very close as well. That might be onside. That is very close, as I say. So it will be just inside their own penalty area. Will be a goal kick. I'm sure as well that back forward of pair of Kosunu, Diamande and Dewey, they'll be wanting a clean sheet, as long with Fofana, the goalie. Nodded out by Chong for a throw-in, but halfway into the Côte d'Ivoire half, and left hand side it will be Perry to take. Interesting to see for Côte d'Ivoire how it does shake out this competition and where they will be placing and who they will be facing. I do believe, having a quick look at the brackets and who might be facing who as it stands, of course with things to change as well. It'll be on Tuesday the 30th of June, to be Ivory Coast against Norway. What an interesting battle that will be. Look, let's be quite honest, all the knockout stages games will be vitally impressive and looking forward to. Chong, right hand side, cuts inside, nice touch shot, goal is on target. Nearly, Fofana went to his right as Chong went to his left, and it catches it well, but there was just that split second when I thought it was a goalkeeper mistaken. It's gone to the other side. Fofana saves himself without really making a mess of it at all. There was that half second I thought, oh, something might come from this. Chong's been the real highlight for Curaçao, I have to say. That's played by Perry on the left-hand side. Moves swiftly to the right. Dewey. He's got a chance to drive further forward. Into the box, back heel. Finds its way to the right-hand side. Sangare. Awali to Sangare again. Pepe, I think, will take the headlines with the brace. Diamante got the assist for his first, but Sangare, for me, he got the assist for the second. Sangare has been superb this afternoon in Philadelphia. He would be my player of the match by far. And Ivory Coast coming forward. That should be a foul, and it will be a yellow card as well for Juninho Bacuna all over. And now, like the 20-year-old central midfielder, Bacuna still having a few words with the Ivory Coast man. I don't know over what. It was. I could exactly see why it's a yellow card, but maybe he's unhappy with the yellow card. But he was pulling and tugging at the jersey. Quite cynical because there was sort of a drop of the shoulders to go past him, so maybe it's more the cynicality of the nature of the foul as to why the referee has yellow carded the Curaçao number 7. Right hand side, Torre trying to take it past his man. Well defended by Fonville. So it'll be a throw-in almost level with the penalty area on the right hand side. For Ivory Coast, 75 minutes, or 76 minutes into the game, I should really say. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary being brought to you of this clash in the Group E. Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 2. Warm welcome wherever you're joining in. Nicola Pepe breaks the difference maker. As Curaçao now are going to make another change. Urian Gari will be coming off. It looks like Noslin will be the man, number 13. Will be coming on for him. And also coming off will be Fonville. Quite sure who is coming off, who's coming on for him. But it is full back, the wing back, Fonville off. Unless I got that wrong because I put the board up once again, so do bear with me. I'll never make it easy, do the off officials. Kesse, he's raced his run, that's the last change. The skipper, he's come off. Once again, he's had a really good game. You don't expect anything else from the former Barcelona and AC Milan man. But it is Fonville and Garrett. They have come off the field of play. Noslin and Cassatia is on. It's a double change for Curaçao. As Noslin on the right side gets away from his man. That's going to be a tackle by Perry. That might even be a yellow card as well. So that's a great introduction there from the forward. Gets in front of Perry. Brings him down. He knows straight away that he's brought him down. He's wagging his finger. I can only imagine he's wagging his finger at saying it's not a yellow card because it's definitely a foul by the full-back. Will be a great opportunity. So high on the right-hand side for Curaçao. So that'll be an out-swinging type delivery. Into the box it goes. Heads go up. Still battling for the ball. And header was it last off for Curaçao man? Yes, it was. Looks like it was also Juninho Bacuna. He's having a play for a goal kick. Just getting underneath it, unfortunately. And how the play it goes. Fofana hasn't really been troubled in goal, I'd have to say, at least to the level that you'd expect. Lovely ball. Sangare brings it down, and here come Côte d'Ivoire down the right hand side. Opportunity, could they grab their third? Tricks and flicks on the right hand side, down the byline, ball back into the box. It's well defended. Is it a corner? Yes it is. Great play down the right hand side there from Diakite. Torre was involved as well. Quick feet. In the end, puts Florinus on his backside. It's fantastic play. Wins his side a corner as well, as I say. Lovely piece of play it was. Corner taken short, right hand side. Once again, back to Diakite. Ball into the box, heads go up, blocked away, still inside the penalty area. Big tackle coming in. Won the ball though there, Edith Sangare. But Curaçao trying to hit on the counter-attack. He'll find Chong in a forward area, high on the right-hand side. He's got a 2-on-1 up against him. He needs some support. Takes it down the byline. Well defended there from Perry, and he's getting help from Torre as well. Game's opening up a little bit. Back to Torre, who's going to try and stretch his legs. He's caught. Referee's going to give advantage as Ivory Coast driving forward still. Ball switched to the right-hand side, looking for Diakite. Funny might have gone for a strike all the 30 yards out, but plays it back. Sangare switches the play to the left-hand side. Quick update. Ecuador have taken the lead. It's Ecuador 2, Germany 1. What a moment in that game. The Germans, although coming back to beat Ivory Coast, well, Ecuador are coming back to beat the Germans. What a scoreline and what a moment that would be in this competition, and really shake up those third places. At the moment, with 3 points, Ecuador will be going into the knockout round as one of the better third place sides. Brunette has 10 minutes to go, plus whatever stoppage time there may be. And it's Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 2. Nicola Pepe's brace, the difference maker in this game. Chong. Inside to Noslin. He's come on and been really impressive, really lively. That's a poor pass, so Torre's going to pick up on it. Ivory Coast might have a chance to come forward. They are flying forward. Great header there. Out the back from Obispo. It had to be spot on there. If it wasn't, then they were in behind 1-on-1. Oh, is it Diakite? Swung out to Nossel on the right hand side. Ball comes in. Dewey just pokes it back up into the air. Pero. Lovely touch to get away from his man there. Plays it forward to Torre. Pero swings it into Sangare. Just even for the long legs and the long limbs of Sangare, he can't even reach that. That's a poor pass of Curaçao getting a little bit desperate with the passing. They just need to maybe calm down. Ivory Coast playing some really good stuff. More forward to the left for Torre, headed away by Gary. Battle in the middle. Is that a foul? Yes, it is. Noslin winning that free kick. Foul by Inau Owalai. Of course, it was Seri who came on as well for Frank Kessie. I don't believe it did make that clear, of course, with the armband on now as well. The ever-experienced Ivorian. Of course, former Cottager played a couple of, I think it was a season for Fulham in the Premier League. I have to say, though, once again, I've been impressed by Ivory Coast this evening. You have to say as well, feel for Ecuador, because if Ivory Coast didn't get that late goal against them from Amad Diallo, they could even be finishing second in this game. Free kick coming up. Referee's just having a few words. He's not happy with someone. It's to be that Cosania is one of the players. He's having a word with Noslin as well. So waiting for this free kick to be taken. Curaçao just sat there going, can we just take the free kick? I think even Ivory Coast he's only having a word with the Curaçao forwards. He's not even having a word with the Ivorian defence. I'm not quite sure what that was. Free kick is about to be taken on the right hand side. About halfway into the Côte d'Ivoire half. Build up and it's going to go wide. Oh, it's kept in play well there actually on the left hand side. Give credit to Juninho Bacuna. Ball is swung in, punched away by Fofana. Headed back into a dangerous area. Now Côte d'Ivoire. Could there be a counter attack on? Right hand side, Diakite back to Sangare. into the feet of Seri. He's going to play it wide to the right. Diakite full of running. He's going to get on the end of it, but well defended by Obispo. He's been great in the second half. He's cut out some fine passes in the end. Come away with that possession there as well. To the feet of Leandro Bacuna, the skipper, number 10. Play forward. Opera, is that blocked by his left arm or his shoulder? It will be given as a handball. So Curaçao do have the free kick. It's almost on the touchline. Taken quickly, taken short as well. Leandro Bacuna getting his head up, looking for options. Of course, Ivory Coast now just happy as Castalia has been given a yellow card. Again, I'm not exactly sure what for. Just getting confirmation through the broadcasters that is official. The number 19 for Curaçao has been given the yellow card. Here they come down the left-hand side. Through Bacuna. Ball fizzed into the area. Great interception by Dewey. Plays it wide to Diakite on the right-hand side. He's going to stretch. He's going to get there, though. Dewey overlapping. Still full of energy is the right back. He's going to get it played into feet. They'll go back to Sangari instead, who once again just being that presence in there. 6'3", glides around the field. I think he's just such an underrated player. Down the left-hand side, Torre gets away from his man. Ball swung into the area. Cleared wide for a corner. My word, though, heart-in-mouth moment there. Armando Obispo stretching to get there in front of the flying Wahi. But he nearly puts it in the back of his own net. Might even come off the outside of the post. Lovely play from Torre down the left-hand side. And it's a brilliant cross-in as well. Wahi just picks up the ball as he rolls it back out to the corner flag. He goes, oh, that was so close. And maybe if he could have gone on the end of it, that might have been 3-0 and an opportunity for him to celebrate. Will be an in-swinger, probably from the near side. Seri, the man with the armband on now, left arm in the air, will be his corner to take. Swings it in, poor delivery from the ever-experienced man. But it's one back on the left-hand side. Seri swings another ball into the box. Headed away, falls outside the area. Faked, will the strike come in? Plays it to Diakite on the right-hand side. Is he brought down there? All eyes on the referee, Glenn Nyberg. He says no. We'll see. It looked more of a coming together to me, so I'd love to see a replay. Play will continue. Curaçao just clear their lines more than anything. Ivory Coast are looking dangerous in these last few minutes. I'm sure they just don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to throw too many bodies forward and let Curaçao get a goal back in it and give us problems for the African side. As I say that's a poor pass in the middle, but then Curaçao, that's an even poorer pass. Picked up, Diakite takes it past his man. That trio up top have been so impressive. Diakite continues to drive forward, well defended at the back, though poor pass. Keeper gets him out of jail there. Room just clears it. By clears, he just flicks it away. That's a clearance. My word, mistakes galore being made. Ball forward looking for Chong once again. But again, apart from him, they have looked very light in the attacking areas. I think Chong's been really, really good. I'm impressed by him in the short piece of play that he's had. Can't lie. But I also feel he hasn't had any support at all. Into the feet of Fofana, and he puts his studs on the ball, waiting for Curaçao to press. 90 seconds left of the 90. Of course, as per usual in this tournament this summer, decent amount of added time from the coming. Sangari plays it forward, opportunity to make it free, saved by the goalkeeper. Once again, Sangari just rolls it forward. What an opportunity that was. Curaçao, though, have the ball. Ivory Coast, again, this game is done and dusted, but 3-0 would be that bow on the present, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be a massive opportunity as well. Curaçao coming forward, ball floated, goalkeeper Fofana has to deal with it. I think he puts it wide for a corner as well. I think he had to put it wide for a corner. Nofson's ball, it was a poor one, but it was falling. It was an opportunity Oh, sorry, we're not watching the strike back, watching the Wahi. The shout for a penalty. It is more of a collision between himself and Juninho Bacuna. I have to say, I think it's a little clumsy from Bacuna. 100% it's very clumsy. But it isn't coming together. I do have to say that. Looks like it will be a corner though for Curaçao. And Swinger coming in. Headed away, headed up into the air. Chong plays it back. Right hand side, Noslin. We have played 90 minutes of football, 6 minutes of added time. Looks to be offside there, Noslin, but flags and flag stays down. This is a ball into the box, cleared away by Sangare. And as far as the left hand side, and Florinus further wide to Bacuna. Puts back inside, looks to swing a right-footed effort in. Blocked away at source by Dewey, well defended then as well. And they will come away with the ball. There was a substitution as Brennet and Locadia have come off the field of play with Sambo and Kuwas coming on. Torre lets it run through his legs, but that was well so read so well there in the back by the defender there, Noslin. Chong down the byline to the right hand side, ball cut back in. Will it fall for a blue jersey? No, it won't. Sangare, who else but the Forest midfielder, cutting another opportunity out of a near opportunity for Curaçao. I say near because Sangare has been all over everything. As I say, 6 minutes out of time. We've played about 90 seconds of it, left hand side. And Curaçao find a ball into the box, whipped in. Nodded away, then cleared away by Dewey. There's two players down, back up to the feet now though. Curaçao continuing to pressure this Ivory Coast backline. Poor touch there, and it's one in the middle. Sangare, that's his first mistake of the afternoon. Strike goes wide of the mark. As Castanier took a touch and turned and ran it to Sangare. He did put pressure back on him, breathing down his neck as he twisted a turn for the strike. It was never really on for the forward. So once again, the fans in the stands seeing their pictures, seeing the smiles. It's great to see. It's a fantastic moment. As I said, they'll be celebrating in the Philadelphia streets. Fly Eagles Fly is a chant that is known in the city. I can imagine that it'll be the Côte d'Ivoire fans that are flying in the next few days. Poor pass picked up by Noslin on the left hand side, pokes it back to the edge of the area. Strike comes in, blocked away. Second strike is put wide, or was it blocked off the back of Seri? Out for another corner. Might have been an offside maybe from the second strike that was wide of the netting. Yes, it was. Watching the replay back, good decision by the linesman. So a free kick inside their own penalty area for Ivory Coast. They're just trying to see this game out. As soon as Pepe got that second goal and around the 64th minute mark, felt that that was a game over then anyway, just with what Curaçao have shown. They've been more of a defensive unit so far. Poor pass, Torre picks it up, looking to drive forward, cuts back inside. He's going to play the ball to a Perry on the left hand side. Poke back through, strike's going to come in. No, it isn't. Back into the box, cross comes in, out for a corner. I thought the strike was going to fly off the left boot of Wahi there. Instead he pulls it back to the left hand side for a cross to come in. It's a good cross but blocked away. Côte d'Ivoire are ending this half on top. As I said, I'm sure they'd love to push for a third. They rubber stamp and really show statement making 3-0 victory. Seri with the in-swing. That's a much better delivery than last time, all the way through the box. And we're cleared by Curaçao. Maybe the counter attack is on. No, it's not. Seri will clean it up though, as we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time left. An impressive performance from the Ivory Coast. You'd have to expect, as I say, at the moment, with Norway yet to play in their group, coming up in the I believe it's tomorrow evening against France. As it stands, Aliou, Côte d'Ivoire will be playing. But that's all up for grabs. So they can prepare for the knockouts. They will prepare to find out who their opponent is in the next coming days. But it's getting to the knockouts for the first ever time in the national side's history. Again, that's a bit of history. It's very similar to Curaçao getting here. The Ivory Coast missing out on the 2018 and 2022 edition of this tournament. That's underwhelming. Now it's almost that getting to this tournament should be the normal for us, and getting out of the group stages as they have at this time, and for the first time, the fourth time of asking, that will start to be the norm, I can imagine, in this competition going forward. For Côte d'Ivoire, speaking of coming forward down the left-hand side, Noslin. So cutting inside once again, keeps the attack alive. Ball into the box, catching practice for Yahya Fofana. Grabs the ball, snatches it out of the Philadelphia sky, slows it down and just bowls it out to his centre-back. And the only Diamande on the field now, Ousmane Diamande. Sangare. The last few seconds of this game. Fortunately, Nicola Pepe, 7-minute strike, set the tone for this afternoon's football. That's all eyes on the referee, Glenn Nyberg, who does blow the full-time whistle. All the plaudits will go to Nicola Pepe following his brace. Côte d'Ivoire will be heading to the knockout round for the first time in their history. What a moment for the African side. Pepe scoring in the 7th minute, then early in the second half, Sangare, lovely pick out of a pass into the feet of Pepe. The former gunner opened up his body, slotted one in the bottom corner. Curaçao, their first time in this tournament, will go out with a limp, if you will, but they were happy to qualify. They were happy to be given the chance here, and unfortunately they do taste a 2-0 defeat, and this is as far as their tail at this summer's tournament goes. Whereas Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, thanks to a brace from Nicola Pepe, will continue for at least another round. Full time from Philadelphia as Group E wraps up. It's finished Curaçao 0, Côte d'Ivoire 2. Thanks for joining.